Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Andrea. Today I wanted to talk about Carl Jung. Carl Jung had the belief that all anxiety and all depression stemmed from not living a life that was aligned to your values. And essentially what he means is not living a life that has purpose. And I agree with that completely. I agree that if you are living a life that is void of purpose, it's really, really hard to not feel depressed or anxious because your mind is kind of continually going to be searching for that and searching for this sense of belonging and searching for um, this grander feeling to your world. However, I do want to state that like purpose doesn't necessarily mean a career, or it doesn't necessarily mean something outside of you. And we do often think of purpose as being something outside of us, but purpose is actually something we create internally to our worlds. It's something that we actually um, foster. We decide what our purposes are, and purposes, you can find them in careers. Of course you can. There are people who have careers that they love. I happen to be one of them. I really love what I do. I'm in the career of helping people, whether it be through my life coaching or whether it be through my personal training. And I really am just so curious about people all the time, and I love to be of service to them, and so I find value in that. I've always been a person who's really enjoyed being in service to people, whether that was my girls when I was raising them, or just my family, and that aligns to my values, those family values, and making sure that my kids are taken care of and making sure that I'm taking care of my home and things like that. That to me is a life of service, and that aligns to my values. It's an easy thing to do, getting up every day and going and helping people learn how to be fit and learn how to make changes in their lives, or have habits that can help them live a more enriched life. That all matters to me. So my entire life has really been built through living in service to others. So so you should really remember that purpose is what you're going to create. And so the question I would ask you to ask yourself is, what are you living in service to? Is there anything that you're living in service to? And you can be in service to your community. You can be in service to a church. You could be in service to your job. You can be in service to your family. And if you can align some of the things that you do with the value system that you have, and some people, listen, some people are in service to money. For some people, earning a lot of money is really gratifying, and they're in service to that. So what are your values, and how could you create a life of service to those values? For me, it happens to be nurturing. I happen to be a giver. Like, that's something I really enjoy doing. And I'm not the person that gives expecting back. I just like to give. I like to be helpful. That feels good to me. That's my service. That aligns to who I am. I believe in community. I believe in family. And so I really gear my life to be like that. And your values will change. Your values should change as your life goes on. And the beliefs that you have now and the values that you have now may be different in a year or 3 years or 10. You know, me being in service to my children, me being in service to my children is not what it once was when they were little and they relied on me for every little thing, but I'm still in service to them. It's just in a different capacity. And now that they're not so little, I'm able to be in service to other people, but it still aligns to my values, to my family values, to my community values. And so when you can live a life of purpose that aligns to a value system that you have, then you will have less anxiety and depression, according to Carl Jung. And I definitely believe in this sentiment completely. I think that when people have fallen into complacency in their lives, they have stopped living in service to their lives, whether that be in marriage, whether it be in your family home, whether it be in your job, you know, you have either decided either decided that your your skills aren't really necessary there, and maybe sometimes you have to move on and create purpose elsewhere. But a sign of complacency would be that you have lost touch with your value system. And so some of the ways that you can look to enrich your life would be to go back and get in touch with your value system and start creating. And that's why purpose is not something that's outside of you, it's something that's created through you, in my opinion. And so what can you do to start creating that world that really does align to the values that you yourself embody, right? I mean, when we are living in embodiment and we are aligned with ourselves, then we are in our most authentic state. We are in our most giving state. And that is when we are really fully in service of the life that we wish to create, or fully in service of the life that we're helping somebody else create, whether that be in a job setting, or whether that be in your home life, or whether that be in your marriage. You're aligned to your value system. And then you can take that value system and align it to the environment that you want to share it in. But purpose is living a life of value. It's you creating that. You have the power to create that world for yourself and for those around you. And that would lessen your anxiety and depression. That's according to Carl Jung and myself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please subscribe and hit the like button and come back and visit me. Thanks.